Dear student, welcome again. We were discussing the part 6, that is staffing, and in the part 6 of the staffing, so far we have understood about the very basic concept of the staffing, the importance, need, the characteristics of the staffing. We have thoroughly understand about the concept of the recruitment, the difference between the recruitment and the selection, the recruitment stages or the processes, the selection processes, the 7 steps that we have discussed in the last session. We try to understand with some practical examples. Okay. Now, these are some of the steps or the sequence we need to follow up in order to complete the staffing as a holistic process or the holistic concept. Okay. So, if you can go through the earlier module under the part 6, you will be able to know that we started with the concept of the staffing. Then we need to know, or we should be having the idea, as you can see in this slide, what are the different things we have gone through. Very first one is the identification of the problem. Okay, so very first step is like knowing what are the objective for which you are having a recruitment process. So until and unless the company is having a new project, okay, and the company will be taking the new project. Why? Because of the some challenges that the company is facing. Okay, suppose the challenges is the decline in the sales. So decline in the sales is because of the some issues or because of some factors. Okay, so how these issues can be resolved? It could be done by placing or hiring some of the sales personnel who are very much skilled in selling out your products or the services. Okay, convincing the customers is very difficult. So you are recruiting, the problem can be solved by recruiting the trained personnel who will be able to convince to sell out your product. Like your product is insurance product. Okay, so you will see that in the month of March, the company will be like trying to sell the product. Why? Because it is a financial year ending month, and too many customers will be there who will be purchasing it for some kind of tax deduction. So it is a very good time to sell out some insurance or some of the LIC policies and all. So what the company will be doing? The company will be like trying to increase their sales by hiring some of the trained sales personnel or the sales personnel who are having some kind of experience. Now come back to your problem. The problem was decline in the sales. How it can be met out? By hiring the new employees. Then what are the different kind of processes you need to do? The second step is your processes. Then you will be going for the recruitment. Alright, recruitment means you will be giving the advertisement to the newspaper, website, to the different agents, alright, who like information to the public. Then they will be applying it. So this is the second process. Third process is your selection that we have discussed in the just in the module 28. Go through it. The selection process is like out of many candidate who has applied for the post of the sales personnel. For example, we have taken the example of the sales persons. Too many candidates have applied. All right. So you will not be hiring all the candidate. You will be selecting few candidate for the organization. So this is known as selection process. And the fourth process is with respect to placing the candidate. Placing means like you are doing some kind of orientation program. In 28 we have done regarding what are the different induction and the orientation program. what should be the effective way, what should be the objective, what are the things that the manager should be kept in mind while developing an orientation program. So majorly you will see these are some of the major content in the staffing as a holistic process. So where we are at the third step. Okay, we have like selected the candidate. Now we need to provide some kind of training and development to the new employees. Okay, so in this module we'll be trying to understand what is training, why it is important to have the training program, its needs, benefit of the training, what the benefit that the employees are getting, and what the benefit that the company will be getting if they are implementing some kind of training and development program. Okay, next is the development of the employee. Training and development are two different things. Sometimes we use it synonymously, but that's okay. But as we are starting this course, Principle of the Management, we should know the point of differences between training and development. Again, the benefit of the development. Alright, so these things will be covering up in this particular module. What is training? Training is the process of increasing the knowledge, skills, and abilities of employee for doing a particular job. Alright, so it may be that within the organization, totally a new employee who is having no prior experience, or the employee is a fresher. Okay, suppose you are hiring from IIT or the IIMs. So they are having very good conceptual knowledge about the subject. Alright, they have been given some kind of simulation or some kind of workshop, but they do not have the actual working experiences, how the things are actually being done. They have learned it in their summer internship program, but this will be the first time they will be working in the organization. So how they will be able to perform it? Orientation and induction program, that is okay. It is just like you are introducing the new employee with the rest of the employees. That's it, your orientation program. But imagine a new employee joined a technical team. Now the new employee has learned about the process part, what are the benefits, and what are the methodology used based on the books and the different journals. But in actually, when they are given the option or they are placed in that job, this will be the first time they will be like having the experiences. So before the employees are placed towards their respective jobs, it is very important that the employee should be like trained, or should be given some kind of training and development program. For the purpose of what? For the purpose of increasing their knowledge, skills, and abilities. Okay, so with this slide or with this concept, we got an idea that training is a program which is like conducted by the organization, and the purpose is to increase the skills, knowledge, and abilities of the employee to perform the respective job of whatever the jobs they will be assigned for. Training is not a one-stop process, but it is an ongoing process. What does it mean? Like when the employee, suppose the employee is placed here. Okay, suppose 2024, a new employee joined. And in 2024, the company conducted a training and development program. Then the company posted the employee to the respective job. Does it mean that the employee X, suppose employee X posted, so does it mean that the employee will not be required any training program throughout their life? So training program is an ongoing process. Now again, new challenges will come. new techniques will come, and it require or it demands to have more knowledge. Then again the employee X will be given training and development program. Is it okay? So we need to know that the training program is not a one-stop process. It is an ongoing process, and throughout the life of the employee, the organization try to like conduct some kind of training and development program by hiring some expert, or through some kind of role play, through simulation methods, all right, some kind of sending your employee to some of the seminars. Okay, there are different techniques of the training and development we'll be discussing in the upcoming sessions. So moving beyond, what are the benefits that the company will be getting based on the training or enhancing the skills of the employee? As you can see in the slide, very first one is the higher performances of the employee. So the more and more employees are into some kind of training program, they are learning the new knowledge. All right. So it will be like they will be applying that knowledge or the skills towards the activities that they are performing. So this will ultimately increase their day-to-day performances as well. Second is less learning period. Since the employees are not trained, okay, like this thing has been discussed in the scientific management techniques as well. We have an idea, we have learned that every activity should be done scientifically. So what the training and development program will give you, or what the learning thing will be, the task can be performed by so and so method, so that ultimately the time taken for that activity is lower. Every activity should be performed scientifically rather than thumb rule. Okay, so it will reduce the learning period for the employee. Third one is uniformity in the process. Uniformity in the process means, once suppose you send your 100 employees for a particular technical training program. Now the trainer or the expert who is like taking the sessions on the training program, like they will be guiding the methods. That particular methods will be like shared with all the 100 employees. Now all the 100 employees are performing the activity with a unified approach. Okay, so there will be uniformity of the process through the training program. Manpower development, ultimately it will grow up your manpower or your human resources. Okay, so the modern management says that the productivity or the growth of the organization depends largely on the effectiveness of the human resource they are having. Okay, you will see a company like Apple. It started with 3 to 4 employees, and you see the like they are having the trillion of worth of the company. So what is the most important thing? Most important thing is the employee itself. One employee or the 2 employees can change the fortune of the company. Again, utilization of resources, like when you will be having a thorough understanding about how scientifically the task can be done, you will be using less resources. Okay, that's the beauty of the training. Next is your supervision. Suppose there are 10 or 8 number of subordinate working in under the supervision of a manager. Now the manager has to devote much time for the day-to-day or the routine activities that the employees are performing. Instead, the manager can send those employees or their subordinate to a training and development program where methodologically they will be learning the things to be performed. So this will enhance the skill of their subordinate, and ultimately the supervision time will be also lower because they are known about the things that they need to perform, and they will be less communicating with their superior. Next is the high morale. High morale means suppose you are an employee, you were not performing uh, very efficiently earlier because you were not knowing the process. That's okay. But at the same time, your supervisor or your company sent you for like 5 days training program. Now you know how the things can be performed, and ultimately the efficiency has increased. So what will be the output? Output will be the increased morale of the employee. Next is the participative management. It is an initiative process, like one of the principles that we have discussed is initiative. It means like giving the opportunities to your employee to take the decision on the behalf of the management. Okay, so participative management means once the employees are trained, they are having higher performances, increase in the efficiency. All right, their motivation is too much high. So over a period of time, you will see the performance of the employees has like developed. Now the management can like take the decision that the manager, whether the manager or the manager will be promoted, obviously. At the same time, now the manager will be given the opportunity to take some conceptual decisions for the company as well, or they will be taking part in the management decisions with respect to policy formulations, okay, strategic decisions, okay, or some kind of suppose management decision at the top level. So policies, strategies, your methods, process, these things are very much motivational factor for the supervisory at the middle level manager. So ultimately it will be increasing the participative management process. So these are some of the benefits of the training and development program. Moving beyond, we have got to know about the training. Now what is development? There is some point of difference that we need to know, that training is something which short term, we can say it, or which is very much specific, but development is a long term thing and ultimately a holistic development of the employee we talk about in the development, rather than like increasing your technical skill or your specific skills with related to your handling of the software. Okay, so these are some narrow thing that the employee get to know about in the training program. But development is a wider concept. Okay, like it is not like through 5 days training program the development of the employee will be there. Development means like process part, and it takes time. Okay, so try to understand what the development is. As you can see in the slide, management development or executive development, it is the development thing, is a systematic and continuous process. It is not like 10 days development program, 1 week development program. Okay, it is a systematic. It means the employee need to follow some kind of practices or the systems. Okay, and continuously, so continuity should be maintained, which executive learn advanced knowledge and skill in managing any kind of business problem. One minute, business problems, as you can see in this slide. All right, again, according to Flippo, Edwin B. Flippo, management development includes the process. So it is a process, strategic process, by which the manager and executive acquire not only the skills and the competency in the present job, but also capacity for future managerial tasks of increasing difficulty in scope. So this is very broad definition. So let's try to summarize. Our management development or the executive program is not a short-term thing. It is like the manager is thinking for the future as well. It is a systematic approach where the manager will be providing the training thing in a continuous interval process that will ultimately lead towards the overall development of the employee. And it will be not in the short term, but it will be for the longer period of time. So with this, we have an idea about the training and development program. We have got to know what is training, what is development. The features of development, as you can see in the slide, very first one, change in behavior of the employee. Okay, it means the behavior, the employee is now looking into the wider perspective. Okay, their thought process, their approach towards the problem, their skill set, it will be developed and that will be very much beneficial for the organization as well. Okay, second one, it is a continuous process. As discussed, training is something which can be learned in a particular period of time. Like you went for a training program to learn one of the software, okay, like software of your ERP. So it may be that within 10 days you will be able to learn what are the methods or what are the different dimension of the software. So this is training, whereas the development program is something which you will be able to learn over a period of time through multiple training programs. Suppose you are trained for technical thing, you are trained for manage some kind of stress. The employees are trained for the physical wellness, mental wellness. The employees are trained for like maintaining the relationship, interpersonal relationship. So it is not like you are doing one training, the multiple training will be developing your overall perspective towards the organization or the personality of the employee. So it is a continuous process. Third one, effort of employee than effort of the firm. So organization will not be doing all the things for the employee. Sometimes the employee should take the initiative. Okay, no matter how many training program the employers is organizing, until and unless you don't like take the benefit of those training program, like you will see that many employees will be there who are just participating the training program just for the sake of like getting the certificate or getting the promotion. But what is the bigger approach? Bigger approach or the wider thinking should be learning thing. Okay, so employee effort is more important than the organizational effort in the development program. It is a long process. Okay, it may be that the employees are having the experience of 20 years, and throughout the 20 years the employee are aware of different training program or having the knowledge about the different subjects. After that the employee will be like they will be in the position to take some kind of decisions, okay, which is like the strategic decisions and all. That's why, and this is the reason, in the top level manager you will see who are taking the conceptual decisions, they will be having the experience of more than 15 years or the 10 years. This is the reason, okay, because they got to know about the different perspective. Now moving beyond the benefits of the development, so quickly we will be discussing what are the benefits that the organization is having or the employees are having based on the development program. Prevent managerial obsolescence. Obsolescence means degradation. Okay, so once the employees are working or they are fit into that position, they will be trying to do little effort for performing the activity, or their aspiration or their interest will be like it will be reduced over a period of time. So in order to avoid these kind of things, the management should continuously go for training and development program. All right, so their managerial quality should not reduce. Okay, it should not reduce. Second is ensures company's long-term survival and growth. As mentioned, the survival and the growth of the company largely depends upon the performance of their employees. All right, so it is very essential that the human resources should be imparted with the proper training and development program. Develop future executives. Like many not out of many employee, you will see that few employees are reaching towards the top heights or the top level. Why? Because the learning through training and development program captured not by every employee. As mentioned, like few employee will be just attending program for the sake of the certificate and for the sake of appraisal. Okay, the practical learning only few will be able to capture. So ultimately it will develop the future managers. Create group cohesiveness. It means through development program, through training program, the group activity can be better. It will be efficiently done. Optimum utilization of the resources. The more scientifically things will be conducted, ultimately the cost will be reduced and efficiency will be increased. And last one is the organizational climate. Organizational climate means how the overall activities within the organization is conducted. Okay, how the interpersonal relationship is practiced within the organization, how the superior and subordinate relationship exist. So these things defines the organizational climate. So through proper training and development program, it can be enhanced. In the last slide, we will be quickly going through the point of differences between training and development. So thoroughly we have understood about what is training, what is development, their benefits. Okay, so as you can see in the slide, the purpose of the training is to enable worker to do the job better. So it focuses on the increasing of knowledge, efficiency and all. The purpose of development is overall growth of the employee. Not just the technical thing, but the other aspects should also be considered under the development program. Scope of learning, second part, increases skills already they are having. Okay, suppose a particular manager is hired for the technical expert that the manager or a particular employee is having. Now, as we know, the technical things is something which changes over a period of time. Okay, earlier we were using the second generation, we are now using the fifth generation, okay, of the technology. So it is very important that the changes are there in the external environment, and the manager should be like enhancing their skills that they are already possessing in the training program. Whereas development is finding out the hidden qualities of the manager. Depth of the knowledge focuses on technical skills in the training program, like we have discussed it. Whereas development program focuses on teaching human and conceptual skill. So it has a wider scope. Orientation, it is job oriented, it is career oriented. Okay. Level of the trainee, most suitable for the technical staff. As mentioned, like training program is for better for those employees who are doing the day-to-day activity, or their role is more towards the technical in nature. More suitable for the managerial staff, like the some kind of manager or the divisional heads. They will be more developed, or they will be more benefited for the development program. Why? Because too many employees are working over there, so there will be too many activities, and there will be too many queries at the same time. So development program will help them in like managing or discussing the interpersonal thing with their subordinates. Duration, it has some kind of time bond, like training program for 1 week. It will be very much specific, whereas it is a career bond and it is a long term thing, the development program. Method used, on the job training method or off the job training method. Like off the job training method means the employee can be sent any other places for the development program. Okay, like employees or the manager at the top level, they are concerned with some kind of conceptual skills. They are taking the conceptual skills, or their stress could be too high. So off the training program could be like sending a few employees of yours towards like stress management program conducted at some yoga ashram. Okay, so it is a off training development program. Initiative in learning, employer take the initiative, like employee will be conducting the training and development program. Employee take the initiative, like it will be through the organization, but the learning practices, it is more dependent upon the interest and abilities of the manager to like learn those new things in the development program. Okay, so in this module we thoroughly discussed about the training and development, okay, their needs and benefits, and lastly we highlighted the point of differences between the training and development. So with this we have completed the module 29, and in the upcoming module we'll be discussing about the career development and performance appraisal. That will be the module 30, and we'll be completing the part 6 in the next module. Before that, I leave you with some suggested books. You can go through it to get more knowledge about the training and development program. That's all for the session. Thank you.